But we are joined by Mr. Ariman Sundaram, a senior lawyer of the Supreme Court, who is joining us at this moment. Sir, thank you for taking the time out. I just wanted to understand from you, sir, legally speaking, I mean, politics aside, which is going on between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, what options does Manish Sisodia has, and is he also even if this question is a little bit speculative, is he also looking at a long-drawn process like his colleague Satyendra Jain?
Well, the fact of the matter is, I think one thing is very clear. No one is above the law. The fact is, I don't know whether Mr. Sisodia is guilty or not guilty, but there is a procedure. By that procedure, you see, the whole issue came around this liquor policy, and everybody has had a lot of questions to ask on it. From what I have understood, the CBI has been investigating with Mr. Sisodia, and for the purpose of the investigation have quizzed him time and again. But their stand is that he is not forthcoming at all. He is not cooperating with the investigation. Now, let's take any person who, when there's an investigation being conducted and he is a possible accused, at that time, if such a person does not cooperate with the investigation, the usual step that the investigative agency does is to arrest him and then seek a remand to have him for custodial interrogation, as it's called. Because the feeling is, if someone is not cooperating in investigation, then custodial investigation for the purpose of finding out and furthering your investigation is asked for. Obviously, that is what would be the next step that the CBI would do. They would ask for custodial investigation, which means a police remand, CBI remand at that time. It's after that that the question of his being given bail would arise, or whether he's going to be sent to judicial custody. I would imagine that considering the fact of the person involved, if there's not real fear of flight risk, unless it's going to be felt that he would interfere with the investigation in some other manner, I do not believe that he would be refused bail after a period of time. But then this is purely speculative. We should see what the records of the case bring out as time goes on, and that will make things more clear.
Absolutely. Sir, if I may request you, if you put, the defense lawyer's hat, what would your advice to the Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Sisodia be at this moment?
Well, the obvious defense would be to come out with, would be what you've already been hearing, that this is a political vendetta, etc., that there was nothing wrong. It was a policy matter. You may challenge a policy. You may feel that the policy is not right, but that does not make a policy criminal, nor the person who makes the policy a criminal. So the defense would be more on the nature, I presume, that this is a policy matter. And since it's a policy matter, you may or may not agree with it, but it's not something for which a person can be faulted unless you're able to trace actually that there has been an element of corruption or otherwise in deciding the policy. So as to whether that evidence is available or not, it's too early to tell. We'll only know as the days go on.
Would it be very imperative, sir, on the CBI to prove some sort of a money changing hands or a money trail, to say the least? Because as of now, though there are allegations, but so far that sort of money trail is eluding the investigating agency.
Well, the fact of the matter is, in the absence of having some kind of evidence to show such a trail, you have to, it's not a question of proving it at this stage. But for the purpose of investigation, there must be some prima facie evidence of some kind of, which can link it with corruption. But in the absence of corruption, then it becomes a question of faulting a policy, and that is not a criminal act. So I suppose the CBI will have to come up with some kind of prima facie evidence which would show the possibility of, or a reasonable possibility of corruption involved.